Hello everyone and welcome to the Good Old Gamer. So the AMD hype train has officially derailed. We're only a few days away from the RDNA 2 reveal, which I will be doing a live stream, so if you guys haven't subscribed, please do so. You can join me live with Celso from Cortex while we talk about all of the cool stuff. But I want to talk about what's going on here today. Wasn't actually planning on doing a video, but I was going through my YouTube feed and everybody is going absolutely nuts. Not to call anybody out, but UFD Tech's thumbnail for today, RDNA 2 or BIG Navi hitting 2.57 thousand trillion terahertz or whatever. This is obviously going to be a big problem if people are getting so overhyped that realistic numbers are out the window. So that's basically all I want to talk to you guys about here today, is essentially keeping expectations realistic using the information that we have. Granted, we don't have a lot of confirmed information, but there have been some more conclusive, I guess you can say, leaks that have come out over the past 24 hours. Celso actually sent me a link over to his website, links will be in the description below, where he feels pretty confident about the information in this. Video Cards also has basically the same information over on their website. So this details all three Navi 21 chips. You have the XTX model, which is the big one, the 6900 XT, or 6900, or whatever they want to call it. That one will have the full 80 CUs unlocked, and is expected to have a game clock, or a boost clock, or some sort of fictitious magical clock that'll hit around 2.35 gigahertz. This is where that 2.4 gigahertz is coming from. I'm guessing somebody just decided to round up a little liberally. So yeah, that looks nice on paper, but realistically, it's probably only going to hit like 2.2 gigahertz. Then you have the XT model coming in at 72 CUs, and then this one's clocked a little bit lower, and then you have the XL model coming in at 64 CUs, which if you guys haven't checked out the Techonomics podcast, episode 3, I actually mentioned in there it would make sense for AMD to cut down their chip a little bit further, and I guessed around 64 CUs. That was just a guess at the time. Now it looks like that's going to be confirmed, and that's clocked a little bit slower. So these numbers to me seem realistic-ish. Basically, we're looking at 2 to 2.2 gigahertz during actual game time use between the three GPUs. That is a more realistic number. Now, people are just making shit up at this point. I'm just gonna be blunt with you guys. They're just making stuff up and making their wish list for AMD's launch into speculation at this point in time. 2.5 something gigahertz, maybe overclocked under LN2, drawing 400 watts. Yeah, maybe that would work. The big thing here is every single one of these leaks are showing that BIG Navi, the Navi 21, is going to be a 256-bit memory bus. And I don't see really anybody talking about that. To me, that's the most interesting thing. We know about the Infinity Cache. We have no idea how this works, but the fact that AMD is only using 256-bit memory bus here, and they're going to apparently be very competitive with even up to the 3080 and 3090, which is a 320 and 384-bit GDDR6X setup. To me, that is the most interesting part about all of this. Also, the leaked TDPs are going anywhere from 295 watts, kind of at the high end for the XTX. Some people are saying 350, 400 watts for these things. It's all over the place at this point. So realistically, like I said, I kind of look at the numbers on Video Cards and what Celso has up on his website, and that to me seems to make the most sense out of all of these. So if you guys want something that's going to be probably close, I would check those out and go that route. But we could all be wrong here. We were all wrong on Ampere because the AIB partners were given bad information. AMD is doing the same thing this time around. Now, the main reason why I wanted to do this video here and kind of bring you guys back down to reality is if you go into the announcement event and let's say the card is 15, 20, 30% faster than the 3080 Ti, but you're expecting something running at 2.6 gigahertz and you're expecting it to be 40% faster than the RTX 3090, then you're going to be disappointed by what's probably going to be an extremely impressive card. In Celso's article, he even admitted he was probably debated about the 15% faster than the 2080 Ti. And personally, I actually told him, I'm like, not really, because if you look at what the TDPs everybody's saying right now, they're all very high. For a 7 nanometer or 7 nanometer plus, these are way beyond what you would normally want to put out. I'm assuming that AMD originally was planning 250 watts or below with their XTX model, something to compete with where NVIDIA usually keeps their TDPs. But NVIDIA this time around just said, screw it, let's go to 350 watts. So AMD said, well, we might as well go up as well. Now, to me, what's most interesting is it sounds like only the XTX variant is going to be the 6900 series, and then the two other Navi 21s will actually be a 6800 series. So are both of those going to be competing against the RTX 3080? Maybe the XT model is a little bit faster, and maybe the XL model is a little bit slower. I think that would be really awesome if they do have cards that can compete at each price point and kind of sandwich NVIDIA in to like this weird spot where maybe they charge $699, but they offer a faster card than the 3080, and then they offer a much cheaper card that's much faster than the 3070, but still a bit slower than the 3080. That actually would be very good for them. And honestly, if the XTX model, which ironically has the most CUs and the highest clock speed, normally that's not how it works. The more CUs you have, usually you have lower clock speed. So these are obviously very specially binned chips. These aren't going to AIBs, only AMD is going to make them. So they're being very, very secretive about their flagship, the top tier card that they're able to make. And honestly, with how secretive they're being, and if it is like a very special bin chip, it might actually beat the 3090. So I'm really interested to see what happens here because of all of the information. But honestly, at this point in time, I'm not believing much of it. I'm tempering my expectations. I'm looking at who's giving more realistic numbers, and maybe I'll believe those a little bit. But we're just a few days away at this point, guys. You might as well pump the brakes a little bit because this is getting way out of hand with these numbers. And there's going to be people that are going to be like, well, why isn't the thing hitting 3 gigahertz? Somebody told me it was going to hit 3 gigahertz. This thing's crap. Oh, it's just like with Ryzen. It's like, why isn't it hitting 5 gigahertz? Well, it's got like 40% better IPC than Intel at this point. So who cares? If they quadruple IPC and it runs at 1 gigahertz, it'd still be faster than Intel. See, a lot of people, they don't know how all this stuff works. They just like big numbers. And when they don't see big numbers, that disappoints them. So keep yourself and your expectations managed. At this point in time, as long as they're competitive with the 3080, have availability, have good drivers, and if they can compete on feature set, meaning they have good ray tracing support, some sort of DLSS competitor, and maybe some other really cool features that make AMD cards, attractive to a certain segment of buyers, much like NVIDIA has with their AI stuff for creators, they're going to be sitting very pretty. And like I said, you can't buy 3080s right now. Honestly, you probably won't be able to get a 3070 either. They're going to come out, they're going to sell out, and good luck getting one before Christmas. So to wrap this one up, this is just a short video. Let's just wait and see what happens at this point, guys. I would just expect them to be competitive on all fronts. If they don't compete with the 3090, I don't personally care. $1,500 for a video card is stupid in my opinion. But if they do, great. If they don't, that's fine. As long as they have a decent 3080 competitor at a reasonable price with availability, that's the only expectations that I have. That's the only thing that I want to see. And of course, I want to see the feature parity set here, or even feature superiority, which would be excellent if they could somehow pull that off. I doubt it. AMD is a much smaller company with a much smaller software team, but some killer features only on AMD cards I think would be really excellent. So yeah, that's really all we got for you here today. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Are you way too overhyped? Do you think you need to take a step back? Have you been able to keep yourself in check with all of, the clickbaitiness of the internet right now? Everybody's trying to make a buck off of this RDNA 2 launch. Are you able to fight that off? do I help? You know, channels like this and content like this, does this help you stay sane when everybody else around you is going nuts? I really hope so, because that's part of what I try to do here, is keep everything in check. So hopefully this video helps you out. And once again, if you're not subscribed, please do so. Live streaming the RDNA 2 event here in just a few days with my buddy Celso from Cortex. So you don't want to miss that. And of course, like, share, subscribe. Definitely share this one around. I think a lot of people out there need a dose of, just cool your jets. And hopefully this brings things in perspective for a few people. So really appreciate that. It doesn't cost you anything and really helps out the channel. And I thank you all for your support. Alrighty, guys. So that's really all I have for you here today. And I will catch you guys in the next video.